So, in summary, I will say that men and female, I think, they have a skin and shape which are different. They are not the same. And for that reason, most of the time, or usually, we advise female to take good care of their skin and to take good care of their shape. Based on what we say yesterday, the differences of hormones, they have what we call the beauty hormones. Someone was telling me, which I don't believe too, but that is what is outside, and I don't want our youth to follow that. For a man to be handsome, he must be well dressed. And for a female to be beautiful, she must be naked. That is what is outside there. And you will not say that it's a lie. It's what we see. What we are telling our Christian women, they must take good care of their shape and good care of their shape and their skin. So we said also that a female has 3 orifices and a male has only 2. One for the urine, the second for secretion and for menstruation, and the third for number 2. While a man only have 1 for urine and for number 2. And we showed that the organ of a female is outside. For that reason also, as someone who is engaged or who is a candidate for marriage, you must know that you must take good care of yourself. If not, all the love and the sensation that you have outside marriage, as soon as you get inside, it's become bitter. And then you don't like it anymore because then you face realities. So we said also that female and male should know their personality because family, friends, they interfere in your choice of a woman or in your choice of a man. You don't do it alone. When you don't have a personality, you follow what other people tells you. But then it must not jeopardize your own happiness. Know yourself and know who you are. You are a mama boy, a mommy boy, or you are a papi's daughter. So, or you are an independent person. No one can influence your choice. You do what pleases you, and then everyone follows. So, we accept what you have to do is to accept who you are and let people around you accept you the way you are. Don't hate yourself and don't allow people to hate you, even though you accept yourself the way you are. There is need for change. If there is need for change, then do the change. Change your weight, do it. But you must know that there are things that you cannot change, like your height, like the color of your skin. Don't use chemicals to destroy the color of your skin. It's going to catch up with you. But if you are those people, because of the darkness of your skin and because of a lot of sweating, you can't change that. There are ways to take care of yourself, bath properly, and use perfumes. Okay? What is going on? Now, today we are talking about knowing yourself emotionally. Give me the first slide. So, what is emotions? The first one, not the second. Emotion is a strong feeling, a sentiment, a reaction, or a response deriving from one's circumstances, mood, or relationship with others. We take a relationship because that is what concerns us. So it's the feeling that you have, the reaction that you can have, which deriving from the relationship that you have with someone else. And being emotional is when you are feeling a lot of emotions and you feel comfortable to express them as you found it challenging to suppress or hide them. Emotional people are often passionate and expressive and wear their heart on their sleeves. I think you understand that. This can positively or negatively influence their relationship. So you must know who you are. Do you express your feelings or do you hide them? Expressing feelings in general is good so that you don't kill yourself and you tell the one who is next to you, how do you feel about this and that? How do you feel about the comment he's making? But when you suppress them, it's going to destroy you emotionally and physically. And we'll talk about that. Next. So what controls emotion is the brain. The brain controls emotion and the brain commands the emotions. So it is the way our brain gives meaning to bodily sensation based on past experience. Past experience influence or are stored in your memory, you like it or not, and your mind. Even if you don't remember them, but it still have emotional impact and emotional store in your brain. I'm giving examples. Let's say when you were growing up, people were criticizing the way you are. Either you are short, or you are too tall, or you are skinny, or you are a big, fat young girl or young boy. Everyone talk about that. Jokes, laughing. Even though you don't remember them accurately, it's stored in your brain. And it gives you emotional sensation response. Everyone people talk about fat, short, tall people. Even though in your teenage or when you become adult, you have lost weight or you have gained weight. I was very short. I grew up short. I became tall after 19. And as I was very naughty, my supervisor was mocking me because I was short. He was saying that because I'm short, that's why I talk too much. So that because I can't express myself with my height, that's why I express myself with my voice. And today when people criticize short people, it's affecting me, even though I'm not short. You understand? And I'll give you another example. We have a friend at school, a girl, was playing handball, and she was the goalkeeper. She was very big. And we're calling her hippopotamus. That's what we are calling her. She got married. She's living in Europe. She got married. And one day she was eating. And the husband said, you also, with this eating, look at your size. Yes. And that was almost the end of the marriage. Because she has been traumatizing all along by us without knowing that we're bullying her. But thanks to God, people give her advice that, listen, size is not like height. You can change it if you want. Then she went through a regimen of losing weight. And she said to herself, after 6 to 12 months, if I don't succeed, I divorce my husband. Yes, fortunately she succeeded. So, past experience is key. And we'll talk about that more when we talk about abuse, violence, and all those things. So the limbic system of the brain is the one that we were talking yesterday. is this part. Is this part. We see the limbic lobe. We see this one, the corpus callosum. Forget all those names. The thalamus and the hypothalamus. I think you heard about those one. Those are the limbic system that control emotions. So the limbic system is the part of the brain involved in our behavior and emotional response for survival. For survival. If someone reacts to emotions, don't say that he's a bad person, he's reactionary, he's emotional. No, he or she wants to survive because suppress your emotions kills you. Okay? So, let us an expect. Are women more emotional than men? Both are emotional. The only difference is that women express the emotion more than men. Men, because of the ego, or because they have only one king hormone, which is the testosterone, which is a virulent hormone, they try to show that they are men. And they suppress, they show that they are strong. But female, they express it more. So, they say also one of the reasons female express more their feeling because of the several hormones that they have. They have almost 3 men hormones, while the men, they have only 1. So those imbalances make them to be irritable, to be mood swinging, and all those things. That's why they express often their emotions. So no gender is stronger than the other when it comes to emotions. It's gender specific. What did I write? Oh, it's gender specific centered emotional pattern rather than one gender being emotionally stronger. What does it mean? A woman is unable to suppress her fears, to suppress a surprise gift, to hide her sadness. She can't. But a man also express brutally his hunger. So that's how it is. It's not that this one is stronger than the other one. No. It's just that because of the nature, who you are, and which hormones you are carrying, there are things that it can't pass through you. You have to show it. And for a female, it's easy for a female to cry. When I was young, they were beating us because you are crying. They say a man doesn't cry. So if you cry for small things, they beat you again to teach you that a man doesn't cry. But naturally, it's a bit like that. Female, they cry more than male. And male, they show the anger more than female. So next, please. Studies have also shown that men use more gray matters, which is information and action centers area of the brain, when processing information. That is scientific. Gray matters enable men to control emotions. That is one of the reasons. Okay? And the female use more white matters, which governs higher order reasoning and thinking. The gray matter is the center where, when you receive information, you analyze the information and you give orders. And the first area where the orders are received, it's the white matter. So that is why I like a Bible. And I've got a CD that I bought somewhere where science, without knowing, is proving that the Bible is right. So, when God created the man, he said you are the head of the female. So, when you look at the brain, men think at the center and give orders to the white matter. And the white is the cable of nerves that run all over the body that make sure that those information are carried because the center is giving command. So it's almost the same thinking. That is where we come to say that it's not that female they think with the heart and men with the brain. No, it's not true. Both think with the brain, but at different areas. So they use both of them, the central nerve system, but at the different area. So this push researchers to think that men are able to control the emotion with greater efficiency than women do. Next. Organ and emotions. So we have different organs in the body. We know that the heart carry hate, carry impatience, carry love, joy, happiness, and surprise. While the spleen keeps anxiety, worry, overthinking, and trust. And the lungs, sadness, sorrow, grief, depression, courage, and integrity. The liver is more anger and generosity. What does it mean? As a human being, emotions are a normal element in life. They do not necessarily cause disease when they arise, but when they are suppressed or repressed or unconsciously expressed, they may become pathological. That is why we'll see it, but I can say it here. Men suffer more than women, they break out. When there is a divorce or a separation, people who were together, who were intending to get married, they finally separate themselves. The men, they suffer more than women. The women, the impression that it gives, that women suffer. Because of this. Because men try to suppress as much as possible. But look, when you have a fiancé who gets married before you, you become agitated. You become stressed. If she got married to a more handsome man than you, you become agitated. You start asking questions yourself. That is where you have to know that separation is not very good for men because of this. Because they try to suppress it as much as possible, and then at the end they suffer. But women, because they express it, they will tell you, you are not kind enough. You don't take care of me. You don't call me per day. It's barely when you answer my call. It's barely when you answer my message. What is going on? No, nothing good. You must know I love you. They express themselves. And when the time comes that this thing is not working, they've been prepared long ago because they saw it coming. They've been prepared. Okay? So, those are the areas where the organ of the body express what comes from the brain. When the sadness comes, the sadness is mainly for the lungs. The sorrow and the grief is the one that suffer the more. Let's go next. So why people get married? Why we get married? Why we say to our youth that is a blessing to get married? Why? We know that other people, they don't believe in marriage. They say we can stay together. You can have children outside marriage. So, we get married as Christians for many reasons. The first one, it's religions. Christianity is a lifestyle. That is why I didn't write lifestyles. I didn't write Christianity. Because the Word of God gives us instruction when he said to Adam and Eve that you must be fruitful and you must fill in the earth. How are you going to fill it in? So it's an order was given to them, not an order. It's a blessing that God told them or blessed them so that they can continue to create. They can procreate. So our tradition also align together with the word of God. When I say our tradition, is our African traditions, aligned with the Bible. In our culture, it's not acceptable. It's a shameful act. It's a shameful thing for the family to see that your children have children out of wedlock. It's a shameful thing. Even though in urban areas we try to minimize it, but being a parent, African parents, I'm precise on that, and see that your son or your daughter got children out of wedlock is a shameful act. You are a failure. So, in our culture also, no one allows anyone, not a girl, not a woman, to have sex before marriage. That is why, according to our culture, if you sleep with a woman, and it's proven most of the time through pregnancy, you must marry that girl. Is a way of, for me, Christian, is a way of saying, I'm sorry for what I did, and you try to fix it. So it's a way of apologizing to your parents, to the community, and you try to fix it. Because if you don't fix it, it's a gap of wound that you left open. So that is the first reason. The first and the second. The third one is to have children, as we say in Genesis. We have to get married to procreate. That is the reason. But now when comes a problem, you cannot procreate and you cannot get married according to our tradition and according to the Bible without having sex. That is why you must get married so that you get a certificate, authorization to have sex. So, to have intimacy and to have sex. Because the Bible said, any sexual activities is a sin. Okay? So, any sexual activity before marriage is a sin. So, intimacy and sex, you get it through marriage. You get authorization from God, from your parents, from the community. Because in Africa, the marriage brings together two families. Not two individuals, two families. So it's the fulfillment of blessing of God, as we say. So the other reason is compassionship and relationship and securities. You feel secure if you know that someone loves you. You feel happy if you know that someone loves you. That is why it was easy for us, not for us, for our parents to detect that this boy is in love. You become happy at home. You understand? And it was easy for my parents to know that so is my girlfriend and so is not. Because when I'm in the house, they tell me, Jacques, Francine is outside. Oh, she's there? They can see it. When they tell me that no, Bert is outside, what does she want again? So it's easy for them to detect that there is a problem here, okay? So marriage gives you companionship and relationship and security. You feel insecurity, especially for women. And financial benefit and other consideration. It's not a lie. We cannot lie those things. Why? When a jobless man from our church, where we preach faith and whatever, a jobless man come and ask your hand in marriage, you think twice. Then when we have a lawyer in church or a lab technician or a computer IT engineer, or I don't know, design engineer, who ask your hand in marriage. You understand? So why do you think twice? Not because of beauty, because of financial benefit and consideration. You see, like, this man is jobless. Where is it going to take me to? You understand? So those are the truths, and we must consider that. There is someone, when I was in high school, a girl, until today I remember her face. So I wanted us to be friends, and she told me, you must first take care of yourself. You see, because their financial benefit and consideration, she didn't see it on me. So that's why she said you must first take care of yourself. Okay? Let's go next. Now, people get married, they are excited. Why then we have to sit here, talk about the emotions, talk about the body, talk about knowing yourself? Because you have to engage in an institution which was created by God and approved by man and society. But there is a problem. That is why we are all fighting. That is why we are all trying as much as possible to decrease the percentage and to suppress the statistics. There is a devil. There is a light and darkness. That is the fight in the world. The world is fighting. The fight is between light and between darkness. When we say light, it's not those electricity and whatever. It's not the candle. Light is God. Because he says the light of the world. And the devil is the angel of what? Of what? Darkness. Lucifer is the angel of we say God is light. Now someone in heaven improvised himself as the angel of light. What happened to him? Kicked out. Because you can't challenge God. So then he must fight back. That is why he's fighting this institution, which is the divorce. So I just read what is written. All of us, we know it. Moses allowed you to divorce your wives because your heart were hard. But it was not this way from the beginning when God created Adam and Eve. I tell you that anyone who divorces his wife, except for marital unfaithfulness, and marries another woman, commit adultery. I don't comment on that. What is the first reason Jesus Christ allowed a man to divorce his wife? Infidelity. No, not Moses. Jesus Christ. Because he said, I tell you, anyone who divorce, except, because they were divorcing for anything, you just write a letter, go. I don't want to anymore. Because Moses allowed them to write letters when you want to divorce, so that a woman can show everywhere she's going that, hey, I'm divorced. I'm no longer married. Look at the letter my husband wrote. So, Jesus said, except. What is the first cause? The first reason? Infidelity. You understand? Where it's leading us. So, before we talk about that, I give you small statistics. Young couple who have been married for less than 8 years, they have 44.6% chances of getting divorced when they are 20 to 25 years. When they got married and they were 20 to 25 years. And those who got married when they were more, when they are above 25 years, they still have 24% of chances of getting divorced. So you must know that from the first 8 years, the last statistic I remember was 5 years. but they've increased it to 8. So up to 8 years of marriage is still a risky period. That is where you discover each other. That is why you discover that there are things that I think were like this, they are not like that. That is where someone who promised you 6 children changed their mind, because now you want to do a PhD. Now the challenge starts, the fight starts. Are you going to resolve it amicably or not? That is why they say it's a risky period. But above 80 is a low risk, because it's like a house. When you build a house, not you buy a house, you build a house, they tell you that you have 1 to 5 years of settlement. You will see the crack in the house. It's normal. The house is trying to settle, to sit down. Yes. After 5 years, if you still have cracks in the house, then the foundation was not good. It's not a good house. Okay? So it's the same with marriage. 8 years of settlement, where you settle your differences, you test your love, you test the promises that you gave each other, and then it's settled, then the risk of divorce decreases. But because the number of people that are married after the age of 30, 35, there are still a lot. That is why they still have a high rate of divorce, 60% compared to the young. Are we together? Did you understand that? Good. So, I said it, men experience more emotional pain than women during breakup. So, I ask men, you must know that when you start a relationship and you are serious, you are committed, fight for it. Because you are the one who will suffer the most. And every time you see her happy, driving a nice car, you are dying inside. With a nice man, you are dying inside. So to avoid that and to not destroy your present relationship, you must fight for you to not end up in a breakup. Because you're going to be a loser, honestly speaking. Okay? That is why, that is another reason that we advise people before you engage yourself, make sure that you are doing right things. Okay? Let's go next. So, we're going to go through this and we're going to develop the emotions that we must know and prepare before we get involved. That is why I say cause of divorce and separation. When I talk separation, I'm talking about people who are engaged. Okay? Yeah. Either officially or unofficially. Ankatimini. Beyond the curtain. Which is not bad because it starts always there. You understand? That is why I don't believe on your, how do you call it? Your proposal. I don't believe on it. It's a television show. You have promised that I will marry you, she accepted. You go to the parents say, yeah, it's fine. And then you come, you say, propose. They take pictures. Now, this is a movie. The real proposal is beyond the curtain. That is where the real things happened. You see? So, I will be serious if you propose, she accepts, and then you bring her to us. But we know that it's not happening like that, okay? And we accept that. So, first thing, as God said, as Jesus said, infidelity. Even on engaged people, infidelity play a huge role. Both sides. But mainly, it comes from men. Men are always the one that propose. Want to test the fruit without permission, without the certificate. Try to influence. Try to manipulate. We have been there, we know. So, is a man emotional trauma in a relationship, whether through physical or emotional infidelity, betrayal. And it says that women are more sensitive to emotional infidelity than men. And she thinks that more men are more scared of physical infidelity. It's true, and I support that. That is where we manipulate you. Okay, not us. That's why you manipulate amongst yourself. A man will come with emotional trauma, emotional infidelity. You are at KFC because they've asked. You are refusing. You say, no, you know, they teach us those things. You know it very well. Why are you doing this? Then you are at KFC eating. Magdalene, how are you? No, I miss you, my dear. No, don't worry, I will see you. No, I'm somewhere, don't worry. We'll see each other. That is emotional infidelity. She's traumatizing the woman. The woman becomes scared. He said, if I don't do something here, this man is going to run away. That is emotional infidelity that is doing. It's a trauma that is bringing to you for you to give up. Okay? It happened also for certain women. It's not often, but certain women also, they talk among themselves. They say, listen, if you don't give, he's going to get it there. And when he goes there, he starts eating, and then you find out that the fruit is tasty. You're going to remain there, and you're going to lose. And now because she's scared, she's the one now who will propose. Because she expected that by giving up, she will catch you. And most of the time it's a mistake. The man was just a passenger. You see, he had been done that before. When he does that at Yahweh Shammah, he changed the church. Goes to another church. Does that there, he changed the church. And then he tells people that, your black church, I don't like it. Now we are with the white. Okay? So, that's emotional trauma that the girl or the man will carry his entire life. It's not a joke. His entire life. So, betrayal, what is emotional infidelity? Is what I said. It's not that someone is physically in a relationship. When I say physically, that there is physical activity, there is sex or whatever. No. But he found joys to spend his time with someone else. And many people into marriage, they do the same. Let's say you wanted a yellow bones girl. Let me give that example. Or you wanted a tall man, like Jadia. But you don't find. All the men comes to you, they are short or they are dark, okay? But you feel that he's a good man. You feel that he's a good girl. But I like yellow skin. You understand? Then, finally, time is going, you can't find. Then you decide to say, okay, marriage is not about skin, it's about beauty, it's about the package. I've got a package here. Let me take it. And then on the way, you found a yellow skin. Then you are attached. But because you are a Christian, you say, no involvement. But you found the joys to spend time, to talk, to chat, phone. You are on the bed, you are chatting, you are at McDo, you are calling her, because you found joy. That is emotional betrayal, emotional infidelity. That's what does it mean. Okay? So betrayal can be past or present experience. And past experience could be from relationship, from friends, from family. It's very dramatic when past and present experience meet. When I said betrayal can be from friends, from relationship, previous relationship, it means that you engaged previously, it didn't work. Then you are in your second relationship or third relationship. Then, when I say from friends, it means that you have been betrayed by your friend, your fellow women, or your fellow boyfriend. Okay, your boy, your friend, who is a man like you, has betrayed you. So now you lack trust on people. You understand? Or it came from family. The family betrayed you because you were engaged with Adolf or you were engaged with Martha. Is there any Martha here? No. You were engaged with Martha. The family didn't want him or didn't want her. Now you are in a second relationship. The family is doing the same thing. So this is betrayal from the family, from friend or whatever. Now, when that happened in the past and is still happening in the relationship that you are presently, it destroys you. That is why it's better when you have such experience to open up to the one that is in front of you. You must open up. You say, listen, my friend, because when you are engaged to someone else, your first friend, except if I'm wrong, it's your first friend. You must be open. Listen, I've got friends. They betrayed me in this way. I was engaged before. Don't be scared that if I say that, you say, not here. You are killing yourself. Be open. Put those things on the table. That is what we say yesterday. Discuss about that. Say that I've been betrayed before and I don't want this to happen. Okay? Let's go. The second one, intimate, it's the same. It's in connection with infidelity, with sex, with sexualities. So, intimacy is more than physical closeness or sex. It embodies emotional vulnerability and genuine connections. Emotional intimacy graces the wheel of a smooth running relationship. So, when you have things like this, like the picture that I put there, there is no intimacy here anymore. Do you understand? That is why we say that it's not about physical closeness or sex. It's emotional vulnerability. There is no connection. People pretend that they are together because the pastor knows that we are fiancés. But there is no connection. Everything is dying. But because my father found out that the family of the girl, of the husband, they were the friend. They studied together in what they call it? Internat. Boarding school. He's very excited. Now you can't go back. That's very dangerous. Very, very dangerous. Don't do that. And when this happened, when you are already married, what do you do? What do you do? You need counseling. You need counseling. The first step, you have to disclose to someone. And the first person I always advise people is your godparents. It's your pastor. Don't jump to the family. You are shooting yourself on the legs. Because when you go to the family and they discover this, it's over. Who can trust a woman like that in the family? Even though after that you resolve your differences, it's over. We can't trust a woman like that. Now we start even believing that maybe those children are not our children. Our brother is raising someone else's children. Or when you have a man like this, what are we going to say? Probably you have many children around there. Our daughter or our girl is suffering in this relationship. So if it's happened before, there is no connection. You have to talk about that. Don't be ashamed. Don't be, okay. I told my wife, I will never marry you because I pity you. Because we spend time together. No way. I'll never risk my life and your life. And before her, there are relationships that I ended. I call you, I tell you this thing is not working. For 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we've discussed about that. I see we are going nowhere. I don't want to waste your time. I don't want you to waste my time. And I don't want to sell my future. Clear? You understand? So, when they say open communication, intimacy, and empathy go together, when only of those are missing or start to fade, two strangers are in a relationship. It's not a joke. That happened even for people who have spent 20 years, 30 years of marriage. There is nothing else. People found pleasure to go out alone without their partner. In a relationship, they celebrate 30 years of marriage. But there is no longer marriage. They are there for show, for people to see. There is nothing. No, where are you going? No, I'm going to visit my friend. Yeah, I'm not doing nothing here. Let's go. No, I feel like I'm not going anymore. He said, okay, as you are no longer going, let me do things. He said, then 30 minutes after, he said, I feel bored. I think I'm going to my friend. You continue to do whatever you are doing. There is nothing. Okay? Next, please. I don't look at the time. You must tell me. So, another one, I don't know how many do we have, because some of them, I mix them together. Finance and realistic expectation. That is a problem as well. Money makes people funny. Yes. We have a couple, we're working together, Congolese couple, we're together. Suddenly, the husband, she was a good woman. Very good. I even thought that time, because I was working, my wife came from Congo, follow me here. Okay, I say my wife because I paid Lobola when she was there. So she came. This couple, I was living with them. I was working with them. I was even thinking that they can be our godparents. But then I discovered that they never been married. They never have not wedding, white wedding. No, I don't like to call it white wedding. Religious wedding. They didn't have it. So that's why I say no, not them. She was a good woman. But as soon as the husband got a lot of money, she became a different person. She even told me, yes. So, money makes people funny. That's true. Okay? And it can make someone in the relationship funny. Either you have it or you don't have it. It can make you funny. So, it's not a joke when we talk about money in a relationship. Every individual enters marriage with a set of expectation. Am I lying? No. There is a set of expectation from both sides. Okay? Often shaped by personal experience, societal norms, and portrayals like cookies, pocket money, romantic connection, and all those things. Research has shown that couples with lower incomes are more likely to seek financial incompatibility as a major reason for getting troubled. Yes. You are together as couple, not couple. Okay, as couple, as engaged in a relationship. She never took you to a McDo. He never took you to a movie. He never buy a gift for you, your birthday and whatever, because he's financially broke. He's a student at UT who is struggling, whatever. You start thinking twice. You say, as it is now, how is it going to be when we start being together? Is it stingy, this man, or really is broke? From the brain to there, is broke. You start thinking twice. Now, there is another fellow there who is willing to take you to McDo, to movies and whatever. But now you are stuck. What to do? So, money is a problem, a big one. especially in the beginning. Because if you can't feed yourself, how are you going to feed me? That's the question that everyone asks. And women, they said, I can't be feeding this man. Even though she has some money. Let's say both of you are students at UT and parents are sending money and you have a bit more than him. You don't feel comfortable to be paying movies, to be paying at McDo, to be paying the restaurant and whatever. And the boy with his techies is just there. Like one of a friend, female friend, someone was asking his hand in marriage. I will say that joke. Someone was asking his hand in marriage. She didn't want. So I asked her, but why do you refuse? He's a good boy. And he's intelligence. He has a future. He said, which future? Do you see future there? I said, I don't see it, but I can feel that this man is a good one. He said, no, he doesn't have anything. I said, the only thing that he has is that thing between his legs. That's the only thing he has. Yes. I met her last time when I went to Congo. I asked him that question. I say, you lost a great man. He say, we are young, we are stupid. We didn't know what we were doing. So be careful. Yes, many people, they don't know what they want and they don't know what. They look at the present. They don't see potential. They don't look at the future. Okay? But you must also be careful with that future because it can turn around and bite you. Let's go next. So, another one is domestic violence and abuse. This domestic violence and abuse, when I say domestic violence and abuse, I'm not talking about only people who are married. Okay? No. Let's go first. Financial. I want to comment about financial, especially for people who are going to get married. In finance, the most important things that youth must know is financial transparency. That's very important. Either you are broke or you are not. The only way for your partner to know that really you are broke from the brain to the toes is to be financially transparent. Tell her, as I'm here, my father sent me rent money, school fees, and nothing else. So I live from this and this and that and that. Be transparent. And if by chance you are waking, that is where everything must start. You must tell her that, listen, I'm waking. This is what I earn. And this is how I use it. I pay the rent. This is for my transport. This is what I'm saving. So that I can get married to you. So that maybe I can buy a house or I can buy a car or whatever. Transparency must start when you are fiancé, not at home, not when you are married. It must start when you are together, when you are engaged in the relationship to get married. So, you must not be what they call sopeka in Kinshasa. Sombelanga, pesanga, kabelanga. So buy for me, sopeka. Sombelanga. Sopeka is sombelanga, pesa. Sombelanga, donc buy for me. You are there just to say, hey, this clothes is good. Can you buy it for me? Hey, this shoes is very nice. Can you buy it for me? Pesangai. When you see the other one with the wallet, you just open. What you know we have to buy? Okay. Oh, you have money. Can you give me 100 rand also? And sombelanga, you just ask gift. Can you give this? Can you buy this for me? Don't be involved in those kind of a relationship. It's going to destroy you, not only that time, even in your marriage. Because marriage is two people together. When you put your financial together, you will not be putting yours. Because you started as a sopeka. Okay? Now, another thing, you must not get married to someone or must not be engaged to someone for financial benefit. It's going to destroy you, and it's going to destroy the other person. Let's say a girl discover that the only thing you got married to him because his father is political connected. How is she going to feel? She can put poison on your food. I'm telling you. So don't do those things because you have financial benefit. You think that they will have expensive clothes, they will buy for you. He has a potential of buying a mansion. And when all those things doesn't happen, it brings troubles. And you also, you think that she will be the one cooking for you, cleaning your, washing your clothes, and taking care of the house, giving you beautiful children. Did you discuss about the number of children before you start thinking of that? Okay? So those are the things that you have to put on the table so that when times comes, everything has been settled already. Okay? Let's go to abuse. Domestic violence and domestic abuse. I'm not talking about those things when it's happened in a household. We talk about those things even before when we were young. Okay? So, domestic violence and other abuse that occurs in a marriage or in a household, that's what we are talking about. It can be physical, emotional, or sexual. Those type of abuse can cause long-term psychological trauma, leaving the victim feeling scared, isolated, and unable to trust their partner. This is an equivocal deal breaker in any relationship. Constant and incessant argument and conflict kills many relationships. It signifies, it's not correct, that you are not compatible or have irreconcilable differences between brothers and sisters, a friend, and in a marriage. So, abuse. You have physical abuse. I'm going to focus more on the youth, okay? Not on people who are married. Physical abuse. You have been physical abused at home by your parents or by the guardian. Maybe you didn't grow up with your parents, you grew up with someone else. Or you lost your parents, you grew up with someone else, and then they physically abuse you. Or you have been by beating, by giving you hard work. You are the only one who work hard in that house. That is a physical abuse. Or you have been emotionally abused, insulting you, criticizing your shape, your skin color, your whatever behavior. Everything you do never been good for those people. And your appearance doesn't please anyone. Don't think that your own parents cannot do that. Maybe in South Africa they will not do that. But in Congo, many children have suffered on the hand of their own parents because the parents are traumatized themselves by the situation that they are going through. Then they put the trauma on the children. Okay? So, when you have been having conflictual relationship with your sisters, with your brothers, with your friends, before even you get married, none of your relationship might work. When I say relationship, it's not that you are engaged. No, you have friends at school, but you found out that they don't like you. They gossip about you. You have your own brothers and sisters, despite you. So it's become an emotional trauma for you. And some of the people have been sexually abused by strangers or by relatives. That is common, especially in South Africa. In Congo, we don't know because people, they don't open up. So it's become something that is closed door. Okay? Now, people can be also abused when they have experienced the abuse. Not that they've been abused themselves. You live in a house where it's always like this. What do you expect? Can you trust a woman that you are going to get married when you have been living in a house like this? Or can you trust the husband like this when you see your father with your mother every time like that? It's a trauma. That is a physical abuse that the child has seen all his entire life, but not physically to her, but physically between the parents. So, emotional abuse also, the child has seen that, how his father maltreat his mother, or the way the mother maltreat the father, not physically, but emotionally. When a mother or a father can tell his wife that, what do you know? Can you understand even those things? They talk about women and talk also about you. Do you understand? And then a woman is telling his husband, "Ish, look, you come here and talk. When we go out there, they call men. They put them on a line. Can you also be in that line?" You know, those kind of verbal abuse that someone experienced in his life is going to affect it for a long time life experience. It's not something that's going to disappear just like that. And the people who have experienced sexual abuse, let's say you are having your friend at school as a girl who was raped, and you see the trauma on her, it affects you. And if you are a good boy, and your friends come and tell you that he has raped a girl, it affects you. Especially if you think that that girl could be my sister. It affects you. And now you don't know this man. I took him as a friend. Now he's telling me that with choice that he has raped someone. You hate the friend. Now it affects your relationship because now you can't trust people anymore. Okay? Or your relative has been raped, sexually abused. And when we talk about sexual abuse, it's not only female. I know the aunties, people that we call house helper in the house, how they've raped boys in the house. How the aunties, I don't know here, in Congo, a family took someone from the village. They bring him home to help. He's a relative to either the father or the mother. That woman is sexually abusing the boy in the house. It has happened. And as African, we don't open a case. We treat it as a family matter. But the boy will be affected his entire life. Every time that you talk about sex or you talked about intimacy, those flash in a brain. And he may become important because of that. Okay? So, the only solution we come back again on that is open up. You cannot get in a marriage relationship when you have a wound like this and you expect that it's going to heal itself. No, it's going to make the things worse. Especially if you did it open up from the beginning. Now that when they want to touch you, you run away. Either a male or a female, you run away. Now later on you say, no, I'm not running away, this is my story. You say, no, you are making it up. I'm done with this relationship. I don't want anything else here. You see, because it's late now. Okay? Let's go. I think we are at the end. The last one is communication. Communication is key in any relationship. We are not talking about between a male and a female, even between a father and a daughter, a father and a boy, the mother and the children, relative between themselves. Communication is a key. Listen and understanding is a key. Listen more and talk less. That's the key in any relationship. Poor communication comes in all shape and size, from constant arguing to sweeping problems under the carpet to lying. That is where communication is broken. Either you put it under the carpet, you say times heals everything, is a liar. It's going to catch up with you guys, and you'll be not able to resolve it. Or you think that is by arguing that you will solve the problem. No. Sit down, listen, especially when you are not yet married. Because those things will kill you. You see that my fiancé in this point and this point is failing me. Or the opposite. Talk about that. Now we are married. 2 years on the line, you tell me, you know, this thing I'm telling you started since we were at Étude. No way, guys. I've been dealing with it. I thought you will change. How am I going to change if I don't know that is a problem for you? Do you understand? How am I going to know? So, while not every relationship can be saved, if both people truly love each other and are invested in making the relationship work, commitment. Effective communication is key. I repeat that. And commitment is another key. You are committed to a relationship, work with that. Especially for men. I repeat that. You are in a relationship, work for it to work. Women, they are women. They say yes when it's no, and they say no when it's yes. It's you to figure out that when she say, I don't know, I don't want, and then she calls you, the whole day you didn't call me. What do you say you don't want? So why must I call you? Then you must figure it out that that no is yes. You understand? Because she wants to be a woman. She wants you to suffer. She wants to see how far you can go, if you are committed or not. Okay? Let's go. So, an inability to communicate turn problem-solving session into a shouting matches, which will eventually kill love, intimacy, and respect in your relationship. That is where you will end up. You like it or not. We know pastors who are beating their wife in the house. Yes. Don't do like, what do you think? What do you think? That because he's in the pulpit, he's an angel? No. He knows the word of God. He can teach us. But it's difficult to practice the same word of God. Okay? And so, will kill love, intimacy, and respect in your relationship. The end result are two things. Either, I said it, two strangers living the same bedroom, or you end up having separation if you are not yet married, or you end up divorce each other. This to please your ego. Because you think by cutting off the relationship, I've win or I've won. No, you are a loser. Okay? So, let's go. Lack of commitment, wrong concept toward divorce and marriage are also one of the things that destroy relationship, especially for the youth. People have those slogans. I will translate it in English. Mobile azande gonayote. They teach our girls that the husband is not your brother. Now, who is he? No, I don't want to think that I have children here and whatever. If I do that, I'm not helping them. I don't think that my wife is following. One of my sister, okay, when I say sister, I've got only two sisters, but when I grew up with my cousins, Bana Mama Kulutu, Bana Mama Leki, we grew up together. I call them, all of them, sisters. One of them told me, do you think that that woman that you want to get married is your sister? I say, she's not my sister, but she's more than you. She said, how? She was a bit shocked. I said, because the last time you That is the answer I gave her. And until today, it's rooming in his brain. When she calls me, I know how to defend your wife. If I say here, you will say again. I don't want to get into matter, but my problem is 1, 2, 3, 4. I say better. Do you understand? So those slogans to say your husband or your wife is not your brother or your sister, those are the wrong teaching. When they say libala ezandeko ezandako ya papa na yote, marriage is not the house of your father. When he's not waking, get out. That is what they are saying. And all the radios that I follow here in South Africa, yes, that's what they say. They say, it's my body. Even here, they say that. It's my body. It belongs to me, to no one else. No. That is what the Bible teaches us. The Bible says, your body belongs to your wife. And your wife's bodies belong to your husband. But here, all the radio, they say, a woman will come to the hospital, ask for hysterectomy. They remove the womb. How many children do you have? You say, 1. Did you consult your husband to discuss about that? He says, my body. So you expect me, I'm at home. You come back from the hospital, you say, as I'm here, the womb is out. And we continue to be husband and wife? It's not going to happen. Okay? So those are the conception, the wrong conception about divorce, about marriage, and about commitment. Okay? Let's go. I think we are at the end. I'm sorry. So, to finish, before I say what you can read there, good relationship, stable relationship, based on love, understanding, commitment, communication, will bring prosperity to the couple. Try it, you will see. If you live with your partner like yourself, and both of you are committed, you say, whatever I do it as if I'm doing it for myself. And the other one also say the same thing, and you are connected. It brings prosperity. And you will see how things will be moving smoothly for you people. Either for one of you or for both of you. You will see it. And to end, I'm asking, is it true that better have a broken engagement than broken marriage? The ball is in your court. Thank you very much, and see you next time.
We can do better than that. Let's encourage Papa Jacques again. Thank you, Papa Jacques. It was very insightful. Can you have another microphone, please? Yeah. So I'm going to hand over the next session to Sam, who's going to be championing the Q&A session. So prepare your questions already, Papa. You may have a seat so long. So prepare your questions already. So we'd like to remind, you can either raise your hand to ask the question directly to the speaker, if you are brave enough. But if you are feeling shy, you can write down the question on the papers. Sam has papers here, so if you want to write down your question, put up your hand. Sam is going to give you a piece of paper and a pen to write your question. But also, we've made it possible for you to send a direct message to Sam on his WhatsApp number. He wrote in the youth group there. Whoever wants to send a question through WhatsApp, you can also send directly a question to Sam. For those who are watching online, for those watching us online, feel free to drop your question on the comment box, on the chat section, and we'll be able to read it, and our intervener is going to respond. So Sam, I'll hand over to you. Maybe we can take 2 or 3 questions at a time for the speaker.
Thank you very much, Jedia. Thank you, Papa Jacques, as well. Very insightful session. And I think you gave us a lot of knowledge and elements to digest. Okay, so I have one question on WhatsApp. Let me start off with people who are courageous to lift up their hands and ask questions in the hall. Anyone? Anyone else? No, I've noted you. Anyone else in the hall? Those who are courageous to believe. Is your hand up? Okay, let me give it to Naomi and then believe.
Thank you. Papa Jacques, I have a question. First of all, I want to ask if it's possible for us to have this PowerPoint presentation. Is it possible? Yeah. Thank you. And my question is, how can we heal and deal with those type of traumas?
Thank you, Naomi. Papa Jacques, would you like to answer one by one or maybe take 3 questions to... Yes, please. Believe, go ahead. You had a question, right? You want to film yourself?
My question was relating prenups. What is your advice on that? Should we, as Christian couples, have that in our... Yeah.
Prenups. Prenups. What is it in French? Voila. For people getting me. Papa Jacques, I think you can take those 2 questions.
Okay. Thank you, Mama Naomi, for your question. I think I said it. When you have gone through emotional trauma or physical trauma, the first thing that you have to do is to open up. You have to do that to the person that you trust the more. But you need a therapy. It means that you cannot end up by opening up to someone. If you are not engaged to a relationship, you can open up to your pastor who can help you spiritually to heal those wounds. But as a medical doctor, I will advise that people have therapy. They have to have a specialist because those wounds, they don't heal in 1 day or 2 days. They take time. But if you are in a relationship, you think that the man or the girl is serious, you may end up getting into marriage. You must open up to that person. You must know your past. So that whatever therapy you're going to get involved to, the person that's going to live with you is the first person to understand and to help you to go through it. That is the only way you're going to heal. When you keep it, it's going to destroy you. It's going to destroy your relationship. It's going to destroy your marriage. And the end result will not be good for yourself. So the experience have shown that people who don't open up, they end up either committing suicide or they end up not get involved in any type of relation that the trauma had led them to. So that is how you heal those kind of trauma, those kind of emotion that we are going through. Now, the bizarre part of that is that if, let's say, you are in a relationship, as I said, is a present experience, and then is your partner who is bringing emotional and physical or whatever trauma to you, still you go through the process. But the loophole is if he or she is not willing to understand. Because if you are together already, he or she must be willing to go together with you for therapy. But if she doesn't, but now for us Christians, we are on a good side because not only a therapist can help us, but we have a spiritual leader who can help as well. So we have both help that can together give a good result. Because a therapist may not have a power on the partner, But your spiritual leader has the power on both of you. So he can influence with the word of God, with advice and all things, so that your partner accepts to go with you through the healing process. That's how you heal from it. Thank you. Okay, to answer belief, I don't know why African communities, all of them, they want to have a community of property regiment for marriage. Maybe because of the influence of the religious preaching that love accepts everything, love doesn't hide anything, love. But I advise, that is a good question, I advise people, before you get into marriage, you must decide which regiment of marriage do you want. You want separation of community or property, or you want half. When I say half, it means that whatever I had before marriage belonged to me. Whatever you had before marriage belonged to you. What we're going to share is the one that we're going to get when we are together. So separation is that whatever I have and whatever I will get is for me and you have yours. But in African concept, it doesn't work. Okay? The friend that I was telling you about, the one who said that the only thing he have, whatever between the legs, he got into marriage where whatever the husband has is for him, and whatever she has is for her. Now, she was not very lucky to be successful in life, and the husband is very successful, and she's struggling financially while she has a husband who has money. So it's a problem as well. Now, in that kind of situation, can the husband pretend that he loves his wife? You see, it's a problem. I can't answer to that. But believe, to show love to your husband, to show love to your wife, share everything together. It's gonna bring, okay, as a Christian, we know that it's gonna bring you more together and bring what I say here, prosperity and whatever, because you don't hide things from each other. You are not two people living together and competing each other. Everything you are doing is to work together for yourself and especially for the sake of your children. That is the way I advise people. But you can decide otherwise, but as a Christian, because they say here, whatever we say here must be according to the Bible. So you must share everything together because the beneficiary after you will be your children. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Papa Jacques. What I'm going to do is, I don't know, this is Papa Jacques who did the presentation. We have also young people who are married here, so feel free if you want to add to the contribution and to the conversation to also ask for the mic and answer a few questions or add your thoughts to it, okay? I've got 6 questions online. Can I take one more person who's courageous enough to raise their hands, and then I'll go to the questions online. And for those who wrote down the questions on paper, you can just come and drop them here. I'm going to read them randomly, so no one is going to be able to trace that that was your question. Have no fear on that. So, any hands up? Amos, Gina, your hand is up as well? Okay, we'll take the 2 of them and then Papa Jacques will answer.
Good evening, everyone. My questions. I'm gonna start firstly on. Sorry. Sorry. No, I'll be quick. All right. You spoke about financial transparency.
Yes.
Right, which was a very enriching topic. Thank you very much. And you gave an illustration as well whilst you were speaking of it, the young couple that you were living with. My question is, right, when it comes to financial transparency, to which extent, when you spoke about financial transparency, it was to which extent? When you said we need to be financially transparent with our significant other, especially the state of the fiancé, I'm talking about before the marriage,
Yes.
right? You say we need to be transparent when it comes to our finances, to be open. To which extent? I'm asking that question because the example that you gave, you said money made that lady act funny, right? Let's say I am transparent with this person that I'm getting to know. I've gotten to know her, and we plan to get married now. I show my finances, this is where I stand, right? In both cases, where I have a lot of money and where I don't have a lot of money. When I don't have a lot of money, I don't know how this person is going to act when I'm going to have a lot of money. Which is why a lot of people now, when they have a lot of money, they start signing up prenups. They're like, I don't know this person, we're going to get married after 2 weeks, 3 weeks. She asks for divorce, and then she has half of my money. When you ask me to be transparent with my money, to which extent? And how would I know that this person, I'm going to trust her, even like to be the same person, even after I'm transparent with her? Yeah, that's the question in terms of money. You spoke about emotional self-awareness. I'm going to talk about just 3 questions under that subtopic. You spoke about a lot of things. How can a couple develop a deeper understanding of their individual emotional needs? You spoke about trauma. Let's say I'm traumatized. I don't know I'm traumatized. I'm acting funny toward this person. This person is telling me, oh, no, I feel like you're traumatized. How can one person get to a point whereby they actually self-conscious, get to a point whereby they actually want to get help? Or how do you get your partner to that state, to accept, to go, as you spoke about, get counseling? The second question, what strategies can one use to improve one's emotional self-regulation?
Sorry?
What strategies can one use to improve their emotional self-regulation? All right? I think I was clear, right? Okay. Oh, I still have one. No. I still have 4 more, but I'm just going to ask that one more. And how do you create, sorry, in today's society, you spoke about how men act they act tough, they don't communicate well, and sometimes and all of that. But you also spoke at the end here that ladies you didn't say it like this, but I'm going to paraphrase it. You stated that ladies don't communicate well. Their no sometimes can be yes, their yes sometimes can be no, and all of that, right? It is a debate that has gone on for I don't know how many years, right? But yet we're going to speak about having an environment whereby we communicate well. How can one create that environment? Obviously, these questions are the before part. How can one create that environment whereby whereby the couple communicates well? And what else? And how? Sorry. Under self-awareness. Let me just finish that. How can men, right, open up or create that or kill that stigma that we have developed of not wanting to be vulnerable toward our partners? Yeah, those are my 4 questions.
4 questions.
Yes.
The last one is
5, but
what men can do.
Yes, to kill the stigma that is placed upon
The stigma or the ego?
Ego. I think you're talking about men opening up. How easy?
How can they kill that ego so that they can easily
Open up and communicate.
create a positive communication channel?
Okay. Thank you for all those questions. And I want also to emphasize that, as Brother Sam has said, I'm not the Bible. Okay? That whatever I said is the truth. No, I'm not the Bible. Whatever I said is based on my experience, my friend experience, my family experience, whatever experience I got around me, and whatever I've read in the books, in whatever literature, the conference that I went to, the seminaries, and all those things. So feel free to contradict, to say, no, you say this, but I think it's this and that, based on my also experience or whatever. So we are here all to learn and to share experience in a good faith and good way. Okay? Now, financial transparency. It's easy. Maybe not for you, but it's easy. First, as Christian, I always say it and I repeat it. When I was engaged, I was not a born again. I was a Catholic Christian. And you know, Catholic, they are not very not serious. They are not rigorous in teaching and respecting the Bibles and whatever. They accept divorced people to get married, to divorce again, to get married. They bless them, all those things. They have the priest they have around him. He knows that this one is girlfriend, that one, they sleep together. They not in a way that they are separate. No, they live in the same house, but they are still servant, church and whatever. And no one approach them to tell them whatever. You see, so it's a bit things that you take it slightly. But I was very rigorous with myself, okay? Because I has a dream for myself. Simple. First, when you want to get engaged, you must pray. What kind of wife or what kind of husband do you want? Put it on a paper. When the pastor say here that write down whatever you want God to do for you this year, those are the kind of things that you must do once in a while. You write down, God, I want a tall woman, very dark, very intelligent, maybe who has a PhD already. You put it down. I want this. And by faith, you will have it. I put down 10, and I got all 10 right. It was not only 10, it was 20, whatever. But my priority was on the 10, and I got all right. Because I prayed on it. Yesterday, you were here. I say something that a priest told me. If you want to get a vision, yourself, you start with yourself and ask all your friends to stop sleeping with girls. When you do that, then you will have a bunch of girls who are vision. So it's going to be easy for you to get married to a vision. But if you and your friend, you are sleeping with girls, where are you going to get a vision? So those are the things that you start doing yourself. You pray, you ask God what you want as a Christian. That is the first step. The second one, I was a poor student. I had 2 trousers and 3 shirts with 1 pair of shoes. For more than 8 years, I was in the campus. I told you someone who told me, you must take care of yourself first. Do you understand? So I believed that I can only be engaged when I start working, I have money. I can take care of myself and I can take care of. But someone told me, no, you are making a mistake. The wife that you must spend life together must accept you the way you are and believe in you. Do you understand? Believe in you. Then you're going to work together. If not, you may make a mistake. Someone will accept you just because you have a financial situation, you have a social life already, and then they accept you for that, not for love. You understand? Then I make a step, and then I found someone who accepted me the way I described. And when I started working, that person is the one who was the financial manager of my money. You understand? If you don't trust the person, how are you going to, okay, if you don't give a responsibility, you don't show your finance to someone, or you don't share, how are you going to know that person? Because that woman probably, maybe the husband didn't show everything, maybe the husband was, I don't know what happened. But if you don't show that this is what I gain, that is how you see what kind of wife or what kind of husband you are engaging with. When she starts or he starts saying, okay, this is your expensive, but all this, what are you going to do for this? Okay, for this I think I have to buy 2 pair of shoes. One is 3,000 rand and whatever. Then you know what kind of person you are dealing with. So, in my experience, my wife was taking care of my money. I will tell her, let me tell you, okay, I don't know the time. I was working in the province, and there were no bank there. The bank was in Kinshasa. So when they pay me, they put the money in the bank, and then I ask a priest, because I was working with a priest, to transfer, not to transfer. When they pay me, okay, let me put it clear. When they pay me, I told them, give me cash, 1/3 of my salary for my daily need, and the 2/3 put it in my account. That's what they were doing. It's my fiancé who was going to that account to do all the transactions that I want. I'll call her to say, go and take money, give to my mother this amount, give to my sister this. There is a need for the school fees for this. She's the one who was doing that. The priest asked me, why are you doing that? And if she steals all your money, you are not even yet married. I answered to the priest that she will not steal my money. She will steal her future. Because then I will know what kind of woman I have. I cannot be engaged with someone who is a thief. You understand? Who just spend money without thinking because he sees money. So for me, you must expose your partner because it's your long life partner. You must know from the beginning what kind of person he is. If you make a mistake, it's forever. You'll come here and crying that Papa is stealing money and whatever, I want divorce. We tell you there is no divorce. You stay there. You see now? Okay. Trauma. You don't know that you are traumatized and you are emotionally, whatever, you have emotions, and how are you going to know that you have been traumatized? If what you are displaying is honest, is not voluntary, is involuntary, you'll say it yourself. When they ask you, this anger, where is it coming from? Say, I don't understand. Why am I like this? You will understand that this is not me. Why are you every time emotional when I talk about this? I don't know. You see, so as soon as you discover that your partner has a problem that himself he doesn't know where this problem is coming from, that is where you need help. That is where you need a therapist who gonna go through you and then gonna bring out all the memory that you have stored in your brain. That is where they will discover that when you were young, you went through this, and then they will help you. But if you are doing things voluntary because maybe you don't want a relationship or because whatever, you will know that what I'm doing is coming from me. Then it's not about the trauma. You get my point? Now, you said what the strategy to improve your own emotions and all those things. Yeah, it's good. First, you must know yourself. I know I'm a short-tempered person. And I'm very impatient. I don't ask the same question twice or 3 times, especially to an adult. At work, they know. I cannot ask you, you are a professional, you are a medical doctor. You are my junior doctor. I ask you the same question 3 times. It's over. You understand? So I know myself. And then the strategy is self-control. You know that here I'm reaching the level. Doctor, did you examine that patient? Doc, you know, yesterday I said, did you examine the patient? Yes or no? But yesterday when we were together, you know, this. Then I say, okay, it's fine. You can go. Let's meet in the afternoon. I have a meeting. Because I know that if I ask you for the 3rd time, something else will happen. Because I know myself, then I don't want to ask you for the 3rd time. Then I say, okay, it's fine. I can understand you didn't examine the patient. Go, I will see you late. Because now I want to cool down. Do you understand? So you must know, the first strategy is self-control. You must know yourself. That is why it's good. If you have history of trauma, you need help. If you know it, you open up. If you don't know, we will discover, or people who live with you will discover that you have a problem. Okay? Now, commitment, what did you say? Oh, communication. That I say that women also, they don't communicate very well. No, maybe you didn't understand me. Communication is not about talking. Someone can communicate through the attitude, or he can communicate through facial expression, or he can communicate through behavior. Do you understand? When I'm very cross, that something didn't go the way I wanted home, the first thing I do is to isolate myself. Because I don't want my kids to come and ask me a question and then I shout on them. Do you understand? I isolate myself. And they know. They will see that I'm alone in my sitting room or I'm alone in the bedroom. They will ask the mother, is Papi okay? Do you understand? Because I want to avoid that. Because I'm cross, I will shout on you and I don't want that. Okay? I isolate myself. So communication is expression. It's not only talking, expression. And when I give the example to the women that yes is no and whatever, she's communicating to you. You are the one who doesn't understand that she's communicating. She say, I don't want. Then the next thing you say, okay, you give up. First day you don't call. When you see her, you say, hello, hello, you pass. Then the following day she call you. Hey, you saw me at the church, you didn't even greet me. Oh, but I say hello. And then which hello is that? Yesterday you didn't call me. She's communicating to you. That is a communication. You are the one who don't understand. You get it? So communication is not sitting and telling you that this is A or B. Facial expression, attitude, behavior, that is a way to communicate. There are couples where you get into the house. Sherry, how are you? I'm fine. You know that there is a problem. She didn't say that I have a problem. But she's communicating to you. Is it clear? Okay. What can we do to kill the ego and whatever? Understanding. Put yourself on the shoes of a woman. Ego is good, but does it help you? Be honest with you. Does it help you? If really, as a man, you love your wife, being ego like a man, does it help you? Does it help her? You must calm down. You must understand. That is why we are here. You must understand that women, they have 3 hormones that work in different ways. They are irritable sometimes. They become mood is swinging and whatever. You have to understand and calm down. You have your testosterone, which work on you on a basic level. It doesn't change from the first until the end of the month. It doesn't change. It's the same thing. So don't stay in that level. When she goes down, you go down with her. When she goes up, you go up with her. That is where the relationship will be smooth. And beside, you are the head of the family. Okay, maybe not the head of the family, but you are the head of the wife. So why are you having ego? You are already the chief. You are already the CEO. So what do you want else? Do you get my point? Come down to a level, throw away your ego. You are already a man. You have X and Y as chromosome. It will never change. Okay? Come down to a level and then everything will come down. That is the only way to take away your ego. And things will be smooth. Listen, there is a professor, my friend's father. When she came in South Africa, she told me, my son, you must listen to your wife. Many times as men, we think that we know everything. We can do everything. Listen to your wife. That is a way of telling you to take away your ego, to listen to your wife. Thank you.
Thank you, Papa Jacques, for that. I've got 8 questions online, but before we move to that, I just want to also open up the floor to my fellow colleagues here who are married. If you want to add, it's good to have perspective from different generations as well and different experiences. So I'll start with Daniel, Jedia, and then maybe I can also add myself.
Bonsoir. Thank you so much for the word. I hope I'm going to be able to say it correctly. I just wanted to speak about the point where Amos asked to what extent you can be transparent about your finances, especially before marriage. I think, before you open up, because we know that finances is a very important and critical aspect, I think you need to know the person to a good extent before you can open up about your finances. But nonetheless, when you are in a relationship and you are genuine, I think a level of your finances can still be seen. When you are making good money, the girl will be able to tell. How are you dressing up? When you take her out, what type of places are you taking her out to? So a level of your finances, and if, for instance, you work, she'll be able to tell if genuinely this guy works or he doesn't work. So, but before you get to the point of telling her, this is how much I earn, I think you need to leave a bit of time for you guys to know each other until a certain point where you feel secured enough. Otherwise, it will be like you get into a relationship 2 weeks, this person knows that you are earning this much. And then 2 months down the line, the relationship doesn't work out. You go to, now it's everybody that knows your salary. So you need to know a person to some certain extent where you feel secured enough to tell them that this is how much I earn. But nonetheless, with your lifestyle, your interaction, it will be seen. When you don't have much, people can tell. I want to go to Menlin, you're like, but there's a chicken licken on the corner here, let's just go there. She might be like, okay, maybe he doesn't have much. That's why he prefers chicken licken. And I heard Amos also spoke about a man's ego and how you can fully express yourself to your partner. I think an important aspect as well for us guys, you need to have genuine guy friends. You see, you've got genuine guy friends that want the best for you and that want to see you succeed. If you're in a certain relationship and you feel that I've done wrong to the lady, but I don't want to humble myself to go and apologize or to accept that, look, this and that happened, the fault was on me and etc. I'm sorry for that. If you have guy friends, maybe if you can hear it from a guy friend to tell you that, Daniel, here you're the one that was at fault. You need to go and apologize. It can help you because you're like, okay, if my friend can see it that way, then I should be able to do it. So I think that your surrounding as well counts a lot. And like Papa Jacques said it yesterday, not just the family, but your friends as well can influence your relationship one way or another. And for us guys, I believe it's the same for every guy. Once you're in a relationship with a girl, you go tell your guy friends. You're like, look, I've got this girl. This is how she is, this and that. And if your friends are genuine, they'll tell you truths. And sometimes it's good to hear it from another man. And I think that's how it goes. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say.
Thank you very much, Daniel. Jidia?
Thanks, Dan. Thanks, Papa Jacques. I'm just going to add 2 comments and then move on. First of all, on the trauma, how to find out that you maybe are battling with a traumatic issue. I'll give my own example. It's something I personally do. I think as a human being, whether a lady or a man, you need to have moments where you sit down with yourself. You ask yourself like real questions. Even if it hurts you, you do it. Because these are things I personally do. I can sit there on my own, my quiet times. I dig into myself, ask myself questions. Sometimes they make me cry. Of course, no one sees my tears often. Even my wife doesn't see me cry much. But it makes you cry. That's how you realize that, okay, this is my main issue. Because you ask yourself deep and piercing questions. Once you ask yourself those questions, you came to realize, I'm actually suffering with a specific issue, this, and this is the real cause for the issue I'm suffering. And you also get to discover your triggers. You know that, okay, whenever I'm in a situation where maybe a woman tries to be stubborn towards me, it triggers something, a certain traumatic reaction. And once you know it, you know how to align yourself, you know how to also pick your surrounding, you know how to also react to things and to also put in effort, to manage your own trauma. Because you can have trauma, but it doesn't mean that only other people have to fix themselves for you to feel well. You also need to work on your part. You know the cause of your trauma, and you also adjust yourself with regard to that. And another thing is to quit living in denial. Sometimes you realize, for sure that you have a traumatic experience, but then you are denying it. You are living in complete denial. You don't want to make peace with it, to accept it. So asking yourself the right question, having your you moment, moment with just yourself. Because sometimes it's easy to dig the truth without even talking to someone else. Ask yourselves questions, write it down, read it later. It will help you, uncover a lot more. And regarding the ego part, how to break ego, one of the things I would say is that helps men in general to feel, to be able to break the ego. It's when they speak and they feel understood. When you speak to someone, you open up, but then you feel like they don't understand you, or you feel judged, it pushes you to closing up. Because I know men are, I don't know, maybe it's not scientifically proven, we'll see about that. Men tend to be better listeners than women. So men tend to easily listen and try to understand. On the other way, women they are not the best when it comes to listening, attentive listening, active listening, and give you solution. You know what I mean. So for a guy, when maybe a guy opens up to maybe a wife, to a friend, to a sister, and then when they are talking, they feel like the person is not understanding me. The person is not comprehending what I'm saying. It pushes them to closing up again. So breaking out of ego, it's an effort that man makes, but also it's an effort on the person listening to them to be able to understand them. And understanding someone is to put yourself in their shoes. Yeah, I think those are the contributions I wanted to bring.
Thank you very much, Daniel and Jedia. I'll also add, allow me to add, of course. I'm in my 3rd year of marriage. We're speaking about, and I'm also a father. When I'm hearing the questions, I want to touch, I'm going to try to touch on all of them at once in my own way, adding on to what has already been said, because I think knowledge is what we need And we're talking about getting that knowledge before you go on the other side. I saw Papa Jacques' presentation had a very important word there, expectations. And one of the biggest things that brings disappointment in marriage is when you have either unrealistic expectations or miscommunicated expectations or uncommunicated expectations. So, talking about triggers, I think Jedia touched about it. It's about the question about being traumatized. But also, there are tests online that you can, these personality tests, and it's an easy way to also find out about yourself. How healthy are you emotionally and physically as well? It's important. And the reason why I'm saying this is because it's important for you to know yourself, because you are the one that's going to help your partner get to know you. So if you don't know yourself, your partner will struggle to know you. So you have to know yourself because you are the one that's going to help them know you. Know your triggers, know your traumas, know how you are addressing them. Are you healing yourself? Do you still need help or not? And discuss it with your partner so that they know what they're getting into. And also try your best to know as much as possible about your partner. It's true, people will tell you that you can't know someone 100%. But try your best to know as much as possible before saying I do. It's going to help a lot. About the financials, there's different ways to test a person to see their perception on money and how to spend, on how to save. And a simple example is just ask a question. If you win the lottery today, or if you get a lot of money today, 4 million rands, what are you going to do with it? And you find that many people don't even have plans for that. And it's very dangerous. You know, when the Bible tells us that God approves our plan, you know, before you see the provision, you must have a plan. You know, even before you have that 4 million. But me today, if you ask me, you give me 4 million, I know exactly what I'm going to do with it. So it's one way, just ask those questions, or you say it in a general way. What do you think? I saw this superstar on TV divorced or did this with their money. What do you think of that? And then you listen to them, what they say about it. You don't have to be direct and say, hey, if you don't want her to know that you have a lot of money, don't say, I have a lot of money, what would you do if I give you this much? You know, just ask a question in a general manner and see their response, what they think of it, and then you'll be able to tell what kind of person you are dealing with. The aspect about self-control, okay. There's about listening. I'm going to add to what Jedia said. It's an impression that we have, or it could be proven that women have a different way of listening. And sometimes when we speak, we don't get what we expect, you know, how we expect them to listen to us. One advice that was given to me is teach her how to listen to you. You know, sometimes you teach her how to listen to you, and you can do the same for a man as well, you know, to women. Teach your men how to read your mind. You know, when you say something, what do you mean? There's a level to which that you can teach them, and then with time, they're going to know you better. So teach your partner how to listen to you. Teach your partner how to love you. The next thing I want to say is take pride in humility. You see I'm playing with words there. Take pride in humility. What I'm saying is take pride in being humble. We are Christians. Sometimes men don't open up because they fear to feel unheard even when they've opened up. You know, and it causes them to close off more. But what I would like to say is give her a chance. You know, give your partner a chance. And adding on to that, also put a prayer on it. Because the devil really comes after marriage. If you've tried at your men level and it doesn't work, pray about it. Put a prayer to it. God, help my wife know how to listen to me. Help my wife know how to hear me. Help my husband read in between the lines. Help my husband know how to read my mind. It's very important. You'll be amazed what prayer can do. What else can I add? Okay, I think that's what I can add. Daniel, you want to add to this set of questions or? Okay, 1 minute, and then we have 8 questions online. I'm going to try my best so that we finish in 30 or 35 minutes at most. So, intervene quickly.
Okay, since we're talking about before and after I do, something else that I wanted to say is, it's true when we want to go into a certain relationship, the first time you want to impress the person. Sometimes you even change your way of talking, your way of walking, and stuff like that, because you want to get the person interested. But it's very tricky if you carry that for a very long time, because you are not being yourself. It can happen the first time, you try to. But one of the ways to know if you are really genuine with a person is how you behave. Are you really being yourself when you're around this person, or do you always feel the need to be someone else? So that's also a certain way for you to know that I'm in a relationship that won't work. If this relationship constantly requires you to be someone that you're not, then I don't think it's good. And something else is you should be able to test your partner. And this, I'm talking about the side of before you get married. You need to be able to test your partner. You need to be able to provoke certain reactions so that you can know them. If I have to give an example, one of the things that really touched me about my wife, that she's never really known. Bon, ça c'était pour moi. C'était dans la tête. I remember when I started working already, so I had my first car, a small car like this, the Ford. And sometimes on Fridays, I would go fetch her from campus. Now, the thing is, there was a certain Friday where I had to fetch her from showgrounds. She was writing her exams. I came back from work because it's a very long distance. And on the way, the car kind of broke down. It started spilling water and all that. So now I'm thinking, but I have to go fetch Gina. Now I'm going to go with a car there. It's spilling water. It's not going to look nice. So I started thinking, je me suis dit, let me give her an excuse that, I'm working late. I won't be able to come fetch you. Just take your transport. So that at least she doesn't see that the car has problems. Mais et puis après, je me suis dit, no, but I'm with this person and I want to marry her. That means I should be able to see how will she react if I come with a broken car. I went with the car there. I told her, no, it's fine. I'm coming to fetch you. Meanwhile, I know that the car is not in good conditions. When I got there, for me, je me suis dit que I'm waiting to see a reaction. But her, she didn't know that was my point. She came and then she asked me, but the car, there's a funny smell. It smells like something is burning. And then there was some smoke coming from there. So it got worse. Yes. So I tried to drive a bit, but je me suis dit, no, it can't. We stopped somewhere. I opened the bonnet, and then I saw her coming out of the car. She stood there. What's the problem? And then I said, no, we need to add water. I went to the shop next door. I bought water. Then she's like, no, it's fine. Let me put water. So she was very chilled. She took the bottle. She put water. And my heart just came down. She did, wow. Instead of her saying, what type of car is this one? But she was there. She's even putting the water. She said, yeah, she was supporting me. So we put the water and then we drove back home. And from there, it really reassured me. Je me suis dit que no, she's adding points. So my point is we need to be able to test our partners. We need to put them in certain situations that can reassure us whether we've made the right choice or not. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. We are moving on to the set of questions online. Very interesting questions. I've got 8 questions online. The first one, you said that men suffer after a breakup more than women. But why are men the first one to move on? Yeah, that's the first question. Let's take 3. You say that men suffer the most after a breakup, but why are men the first ones to move on? The other question, what should you do if you generally don't like speaking up and your significant other loves to speak up? Okay? What should you do if you are a talkative person, I guess, or if you like speaking up, but your significant other does not? So you're different. Let me take the third one. Do you think that getting married early, so very young age, predisposes you to pass down your trauma to your kids? So do you think that getting married early can make you pass down your trauma to your kids? Transfer your trauma to your kids. I think let's take those 3 questions first. For the first one, I would like to start, if I may, answer. The I think easiest answer I can give is that it's an impression that men give, that they move on quicker, but it's not true. A man can even try to move on before healing from the previous breakup or the previous traumas of the previous relationship. So the fact that you see them with someone else does not mean that their heart is there. Sometimes it's an impression that we give because you don't want to appear to be weak. You say, but everyone knew that I'm with this person and we're not together anymore. And then if she moves on before you, you feel like, I'm crying for too long. So you want to you want to avoid that shame, especially with society and friends. So you move on quicker. But it's not genuine. And I'm saying this for a person who was serious with you, who had good intentions in that relationship. If the person had good intentions, it was genuine, but for some reason it did not work out, they will suffer more. They will suffer more than women, like we saw in the presentation. And even if you see them move on, it's an impression that they are giving. It's not a genuine moving on. Okay, so let me open the floor for the 3 questions. Daniel Jedia? No? I want to give to Papa Jacques last. Okay, Papa Jacques, go ahead.
Thank you. I missed the question for at which extent, but the answer that you gave is correct. The answer that Daniel gave is correct. We must know that relationship has steps. First you impress because you want to attract. And then you start become genuine because you want the person to know really what you are. And then you progress until you reach the level where you are convinced that this is the woman for me. And the woman also is convinced that this is the man for me. If you have reached that level, that is where you can now be transparent in your finances. Not before. I didn't say that because I missed that question. So it's not that you meet a girl, a lady today or a boy today, the following day to say, okay, do you know, even the girl is serious, he will not take you serious anymore. He will say that why? You think that I'm a materialist woman, that's why he's coming with amount of money, he's earning and whatever. You see? So it's not the first day. The relationship has step. If you have progressed, you have passed all the tests that we have spoken here, because you have to test each other. You have to know what kind of person you are engaged with. The test is very important. You give some money, and whatever you see, how they manage the money, how they use it for, or you ask questions as Sam has said. So, but only when you reach a certain level that you are convinced that you can spend life together. That is where transparency must start now.
Yep.
That's where you open up to say, I never told you. This is whatever. Okay? Now, for the first question, that is the answer. There is no comment. That is the answer. I will not comment on that. The second question, what to do if you are speaking up and the others are not speaking up? You cannot be the same. I think even if you are the same, maybe it's going to be a problem.
I agree.
It's even better to be like that. But the only problem is that you must help your partner to speak up. You must bring things on the table. And listen, when we say speak up, people, they don't express themselves verbally only. They have other ways of expressing themselves. You must only know whom do you have next to you and to be attentive. In any situation, everyone, a human being, has a way to express himself. That is where you must be attentive. That is why he or she will see that you care about him or you care about her. When you detect, without even her saying or him saying anything, but you can feel that there is a problem here, and you put it on the table, you help him or you help her to speak up. That is where things will go. That is why you will see that you are compatible, because you understand each other. But when she's or he's running with a problem, and you can't even pick it up, either through the voice over the phone or the attitude or whatever, you can't pick it up. There is already a problem. I think that that is the answer that I can give, except if someone else can add more. Okay. Early marriage and whatever, do you think that you can pass it to your trauma, you can pass out the trauma to your children?
Good question.
Okay, I don't know if I understood very well the question. So, you have been traumatized. You have emotions and whatever, as a young man or a young woman. Now, you get married early. By doing that, do you think that you're going to pass out all those emotions to your children?
That's the question, yeah.
That is the question.
Correct.
Okay. Listen, trauma needs healing. Any trauma that anyone went through or is going through without healing is going to disturb. I will not use the term pass out. I will say it's going to disturb your relationship with your children, and it's going to disturb your relationship with your partner. Either you get married early or you get married late. As long as you didn't go through the process of healing, it's going to be a challenge for you and anyone surrounding you, especially your partner and your children. That is the answer that I can give. But when he say pass out, he say like a transfer in a way of heredity. No, you can't. That because it's me, because it's my children, I pass it them to, they will also be. No. It's not going to work like that. It's not a hereditary condition that you pass to your children or whatever. No, it's not. I think I answered the question.
Yes. Okay. Thank you, Papa Jacques. You want to add, or we can move on to the other questions? We can move on. Pacific, is it a question or a question? Okay. We're taking 3 more, and then I'll come to you. Okay, let's take 3 more questions. What are the physical boundaries that should be set in a relationship to help couples faithfully wait until marriage? Okay, that's the first one. Boundaries so that you wait until marriage. What do you do if your significant other has already been physically intimate when you haven't?
Sorry?
what do you do? So if your partner has already been physically intimate and you haven't, should you still marry them from a man perspective and a woman perspective? So this question is about one who's virgin getting married to one who's not.
Yeah.
Third question, what happens in a marriage when you have totally lost all feelings or emotions towards your partner, or even when engaged, but can't break up?
Okay, 3 questions. The first one, physical boundaries. Okay, because now he's talking about physical. Okay. But for me, the first one is spiritual. First prayer. That God leads you to respect your partner. And to be, what is the word? To not be disobedient to God. Because by doing that, you sin, and then you become disobedient to God. So, first, God must lead you. Secondly, as is asking physical boundaries, first thing, you must stop any physical intimacy. Because that's gonna, okay. Before I go that, you must also know your partner, what kind of person he or she is. If he's a person who respects himself or herself, then it's another help for the other person, because it's always going to remind you that not this one, not this one, okay? But the boundaries, no physical intimacy. That is the first thing. And the second one, you must try as much as possible, because on all this, you must know yourself. You must know your wicked point and your strongest one. If you know that you are weak, don't accept to be in isolated areas together, like in a room. You understand? Don't. Let's say you know yourself. I'm giving just that example. And then the lady comes to visit. You are at your place. And you are the two of you. And then she says, no, I want to refresh myself. Can I do that? If you know yourself, you say, okay, while you are refreshing yourself, I'm going to KFC. To the shop. Or I'm going to the shop. That's what you have to do. Because you know yourself. But if you know, because now I cannot talk about the partner, I'm talking about you. If you know that you have self-control, you are disciplined enough, then you count on it. When the other person tries to make a wrong move, you are the one who's going to stop that, because you know yourself. And then you don't discuss about that in the spot. You leave time, and then in an area or in another time, you sit together, you say, what you did there, please don't repeat it. If you want us to be together, don't repeat what you did there. I didn't like it, and I will never accept that. And don't expect such thing from me. You will never get it. It must be clear between us. You see, those are the things that must be put in place clearly. But if you live in a confused situation, you are expecting for her to start the move so that you take over, or she expects you as a man to start the move so that you will say, yeah, I did it because you this. No. That is a confused situation that you are putting yourself into trouble. And another thing, when you start a relationship and then you start progressing, those are the things that you have to start discussing. Because when you start a relationship, the two of you don't know where it's leading you. It's on the way that you start putting things together. so that you see where is it going. Because their relationship, you can start today, after 3 months, you think that, no, this is not going to work. I heard that she has 3 kids already in Congo, and I asked her, she said, yes, no, I'm not involved here. And then you run away. So there are things like that. But those boundaries, as I said, it must come when the relation is going up. Physical intimacy, you must stop it. You must avoid them because it's going to put you into trouble. Someone can add more. Now, what to do when someone is, okay. It doesn't matter. Listen. If we all make mistakes, and the mistake that we make in life, they cannot be the same. They cannot be equal. It's not because someone in life made mistakes. It's no longer a vision that we must crucify that person like Christ. No. There is only Christ and alone who went to the cross. We must be understanding. If you love someone, you must understand, especially when someone recognizes that in my life, I made mistakes. Because all of us will learn by making mistakes, even though those mistakes are not equal. So, there is nothing that stops anyone to not get married to someone who is not a virgin. There is no way it's written in the Bible. There is no way it's written in our society. There is no way someone can be wicked to prevent another one who think that this partner is my life companion, and you stop him because in life they make mistakes. I don't think that that one can be a problem. But it depends. If that is what you want in life, then look for it. But if you look for a wife, as I said, marriage is not about vision, about love, it's a package of everything. That give it the beauty of that. For the last question, okay. Marriage as foundation, love. And for me, love is like firewood. As long as, I don't know if everyone experiences firewood. As long as the wood are together, the flame is higher. As long as you start having charcoals, the wood are no longer together, the flames start going down. And what we do as we grow up in the village, what we do, you put the wood again together. And then it starts warming, the flame goes up again and goes down. You put again together until all the woods are finished. When they finish, you add more. That's how I take love, which is the foundation of a marriage. You cannot tell me that there is no longer feeling, there is no longer this and that. If this happened, what caused that? Here in the presentation, we spoke about lack of communication. We spoke about lack of intimacy. We spoke about lack of empathy. If those things disappear, the feeling drops. Why there is no intimacy? Why there is no communication? That is where you have to look for the source. As soon as you repair those problems, you will see that the feeling will come back. Because that is what it needs. Love needs those ingredients, those wood to be together so that the flame can go up. So look the cause why you ended up losing all the feeling to someone that you have loved, that you have feeling for so many years. What happened? Look for those problems and fix them. Don't say, no, I've lost it. There is a reason why you lost it. Fix it. Things will go smooth. Don't think that people are in a relationship for 40 years, for 20 years, for 10 years, for 3 years. They didn't go through problems. There were times where the flame were no longer there. But they tried to put the wood together. And then it came back. So it's up and down. It's like that. It's a life of up and down. You stick together. You sort out the problem. You talk about it. You fix it. And then things goes better again. So that is how we are supposed to do it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Papa Jacques. Where's Daniel? Okay. Jivas, you want to add? You okay? For me, I want to just add on the question about boundaries. And I think if we're talking about boundaries, it's because they exist. There's possibility of temptation. So that's why we're talking about boundaries. And what I would like to say is to bring our attention to the scripture in the Bible. It says, resist the devil. But it says, flee or run away from temptation. Most of the time, we make the mistake to try and resist temptation. The Bible says, run away from temptation, not to resist temptation. So, when you get to know yourselves, the two of you, you must know what tempts you as a person. Like Papa Jacques said, your weak points. And you, as the other partner, it's also your responsibility to not tempt your partner. If you guys are serious about each other, you know yourselves, you know your weak points and what possible temptations are there. And you have the responsibility to not tempt your partner, but to run away from temptation. Don't try to resist it. It's called temptation for a reason. That's why the Bible speaks about being deceived. Being deceived, it's when the devil deceives you, it means he makes you believe that you are right. And when it's too late, your eyes open and you realize that, I was not right. That is deception, and that's temptation. So don't make the mistake to try and resist temptation, but rather run away from it. Okay. Pacific, you have one question, or you are like Amos? One question. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Thank you. I wanted to ask a question about what was it again? Abuse, physical abuse and emotional abuse. First, I wanted to say that I agree with the part where you said that when you have a problem, like let's say in a couple you have a problem of physical abuse or even emotional abuse, it's not wise to go to the family first. Because I was putting myself in a scenario where, like, let's say my kid comes to me and then say, let's say my husband is beating me. As a parent, if I put myself in that situation, for me it's done. I don't know. So even if you guys get to manage to fix your things, I don't think I'll trust that. I'll still think that you can still be there. So for me, it's a problem. But then my first question is a problem such as physical abuse, can you have a solution to it? If we can put it that way. And let's say the family knows about it. Is it fixable? Let's say the two of them, the couple, get to the point where they actually fix the problem, but then the parents have that thing in mind that no, this person used to beat my daughter, or my daughter used to beat this. And then, so they have they have a trauma, if we may put it that way. They have a trauma. So aren't they going to influence the couple? Even though the couple has fixed the problem, aren't they going to to influence the couple? Is there a solution to it if they know what's the problem? Do they also have to go through counseling, or those are my two questions. Yeah. Yeah, the first one is when we have a problem like physical abuse. I don't know. I'm trying to understand if there can be a solution to it. That's my question. If I know that my daughter is, or even if it's not my daughter, but let's say my daughter-in-law, and my son is beating, I'll never let her stay in that marriage. So is there a solution to it? And let's say we get to the point where the family knows that there's this abuse in this marriage. Even if the two get to the point where they fix their problem, isn't the family going to influence them, knowing that, no, this person has the history of beating women? I don't know, if they've managed, they fix their things, but then the family keeps on thinking that it can still beat him or her. I don't know. Is the family now required to go to a counseling, or is there a solution for the family in that specific case?
Okay. I think the two questions can be answered. First, if there is a physical abuse, is it a solution? Yes, there is a solution. First, the partner who has been abused must speak up and ask for help. I said it here. If you are married and you have such problem, don't go to the family, because you gave the answer already, and I said it. You go first. There are two people that you have to go first at the same time, or you start with one and you go to the next. But I always advise to speak up to the two at the same time. You have your spiritual leader. We are Christian. You have your spiritual leader. You have the power on both. And you have your God parents who have the power on both as well. Someone was saying that is it compulsory for someone to have godparents? It's not compulsory, but it's necessary, because that is where they play the role when you have such problem in a couple. Because if you go straight to the family, you destroy everyone. I will never trust, I will never accept as a son someone who is beating my daughter. I will never. And I will never accept someone as a daughter who is maltreating my son. It's difficult. Now, to answer the second question is that if the family comes to know now, everyone must go for treatment, so that that trauma that I have, you see, I'm saying I will never. But if I don't go for treatment, for therapy, for counseling, it's going to remain like that my entire life. But if I go for counseling, they will help me to reaccept it, especially if he or she accept to repent, to go through treatment, because there is spiritual and marriage counseling, to go through it and to change his behavior. And as a Christian, I will have the forgiveness, and then they will help me also to reaccept that person. That is how it is. And we always discourage people to go straight to the family because of that. Because you have sorted out your problem, now you leave trauma in everyone. And now, not only to my son-in-law or my daughter-in-law, even when I see their parents, I see those are the useless people who gave my son, you see? You see where it's going. So it's become a problem. That's why we say, don't run to the family, because you're going to create more problem than the one that you want to solve. And there is a saying that don't resolve a problem but by creating another one. I think I answered your question. Okay. As Christian, we don't accept. Okay, I will not advise you, not even as a Christian. As a human, maybe I will not advise that. The only time that we can involve the police, if you speak up and your partner accepts to go through marriage counseling and spiritual counseling, no, not accept, refuse to go through it and continue to maltreat you, then we don't want you to die. Then we have to act. And as a human being, we cannot do anything. It's the law now must take place. You understand? But for me, police cannot be the first step to take. Police must be the last resources that we have. That is why we say, we give advice to married couple, don't let it go. Don't say, okay, it's the first time, it was cross and whatever. No way. Don't let it go. You deal with it, let's say the first time, you make things clear. It must be the first and the last. If you try the second time, you will see what will happen. I'm not for those teaching that when the husband beat you, beat back. When the wife slap you, slap back. No, it's not going to happen. You understand? So, and for men, it's a huge problem because of the ego. I remember one day it was in the show, a husband was arrested because the wife beat him up. He didn't want to respond. He phoned the father because they are not in the system of godparents. They have witness for their marriage. They are not godparents. So they are not Christian, so they don't have spiritual leader. So the guy phoned the father to the wife to say, this is what your daughter is doing. The father told him that you are a man. You know what to do. Yes? It was on the radio. Now the guy, he said, okay, I can't do that. He went to the police. It's a true story. He went to the police to report. He said, listen, I have a problem at home. I can't sleep. This is what my wife... Then the police officer asked him, what? He said, no, my wife beat me up. He called the second police. Katleko, come. Repeat what you say. Then Katleko start also laughing. He said, why are you people laughing? He said, my dear, repeat again. Then they told him, no, you are not a man. You left your house, come here to say, my wife has beat him up. Are you a man? That guy went up, beat the wife to death. The wife was hospitalized, and he was in prison. You understand? So, many times, men, they don't say it because they say, if I say it, people will laugh at me. That how come a man can say that the wife is beating me up? You see, so that is the problem. That is why many men, they don't speak up. But please, if that happens, speak up. Tell your godfather, your godparents, tell your spiritual leader, tell our pastor, tell your godparents. They will know what to do spiritually and other ways to help the couple. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. One last question. Gina, you have a question? In relation to this? You want to add? Okay. Go ahead.
Okay, Papa. I want to take the part where you said that the husband went in prison, right? So let's go back to being Christians. Okay. Let's assume that it was right for him to be in prison. So do you allow that woman to stay married to a person who's in prison, or will you encourage her to divorce? So let's say he's sentenced for 20 years. Is she staying married to a person in prison for 20 years? What do we do?
Okay. If I understand your question, it's not the scenario that I gave, but it's like a Christian couple, and then the husband beat up the wife, and then the wife is hospitalized, and then the husband sentenced to prison. Okay, first it's not going to be 20 years because the wife was not dead, okay? So it's going to be probably some years or some months, okay? Yes, you still get married to that person. Yes, because that is clear. You cannot divorce except if there is infidelity. So, because in that case, there is no infidelity. So you can't divorce your husband because he's in prison. And he's in prison because of you. Another thing, he's in prison because of you. The man has tried to call people to ask for help. Okay. But in that case, we still say that yes, you remain married to that person until he comes out, and then we help you. You go through marriage counseling, spiritual counseling to continue your life. He's still your husband. He's in prison, just in prison. Thank you.
Thank you, Papa Jacques.
Yes, Pastor will come in. That is why we said, before you say I do, please make sure that you will not end up in those kind of scenarios. Please.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you to everyone. I'm not going to talk much. I'm just giving another scenario. So then all of us will think and then take it forward. Let's forget about violence, abuse, physically, wherever. Gina, it's happened in life. Listen, God forbid, let me not talk to your man. You are driving, is it? Then it's happened by driving, I don't know, mistake, you pass the robot, you bump someone, and then it's your fault. Then, according to the law, maybe they sentence you, let's say, 5 years in prison. So you are a wife to that man, or you are a man to that wife. Are you going to divorce for that one? C'est pourquoi on dit dans le malheur, dans les pires et dans le meilleur et les pires. Donc je crois, thinking about that one, we can get different scenarios, but we need to stick on our commitment. Let's make it the first step, and then others, it will come after. That's what I wanted them to give.
Thank you very much, Pastor. We're going to take the last question. We answered it partially before, but there's a bit of emphasis here, so I'm going to read it and read the emphasis so that the person is satisfied. So the question is, how much self-aware should you be before you get in a relationship? So how much should you know yourself before you get in a relationship? I think before when we answered, let me just read, the emphasis. The person says, we discover ourselves every day. And every time you are around certain people, so at what point should we reach before you say that we are aware of ourselves enough? And especially for people who are in a relationship going into marriage. I would like to start, if I may, before giving to Papa Jacques. There's a scripture in the Bible that says, two people cannot walk together unless they are in one accord. So a principle that we have to pick up from there is the principle of harmony. You will never be 100% the same as your partner. We have differences, and that's why the Bible signifies the importance of harmony, is because we are different. And in those differences, we need to create that harmony so that we get along and we can live together. So it's true. We grow up, we change, we become better, our preferences can change over time. You are not the same person as you were yesterday, and you are not the same person as you'll be tomorrow. So people change, and the advice I'll give here is a continuous communication before marriage and after marriage, because expectations also change in marriage. I'll speak of my own example. I've learned that with my own experience, I discovered that the way I loved Gloria, who's my wife today, the way I loved her when we were engaged is different from the way I love her as a wife. And I also had to learn to love her as a mother, because those are different phases of life. We were single before, engaged. Now we are married. Now we are parents. There's different things at play. Now you're a parent. You are facing different kinds of challenges, different kind of responsibility. How do you love your partner at that phase, in that kind of circumstance, in that space? So even expectations can change. That's why you need to have continuous communication before and even after the wedding, so into the marriage. And the next thing I can say also, now, when you are engaged, at what point do you decide that we know each other well enough to get married? The advice that I can give here is based on my personal experience. I was with my wife for 8 years before we got married. 8 years. And in 8 years, I was confident that I know her enough. You know, because imagine being with someone for 8 years. But the year that we were supposed to get married, we decided, okay, we're going to approach the parents and ask for the letter and so forth. After that, there's no turning back after you pay lobola. So what we did is we had a problem, and we told ourselves, if we are not able to resolve this problem before going to the parents, then we call it quits, because it's something we can't compromise on. So you have to be honest with yourself. What I'm saying here is, when you're about to get married, are you happy with how the relationship is at that moment, at that point? If we tell you that your relationship won't change, it won't get better, where you are, that's how it's going to be in marriage. Are you okay with it or not? If you're okay with it, you can go ahead. If you're not okay with it, it means you still have work to do before saying I do. So that can be one of the hints I can give. Thank you. Okay, I'll give it to Papa Jacques.
thank you for the question and thank you for the answer. I will come again to what I said. When the foundation is not good, or when the foundation is not there, there is no house. Because any storm, any wind, any rain can let it go. The foundation is love. Do you love that person enough to tolerate everything he can do? It's vice versa. Do you? If you didn't yet reach that level, it means you are not ready. You must reach that level where you say yourself that I love this person enough that I can tolerate anything, that I can accept anything, even though he or she is in prison for 20 years. I'm just teasing my daughter. Secondly, are you, okay, I said it, you love enough to tolerate. So, tolerance. Are you ready to accept another person with his or her qualities and default in your life? Because no one is perfect. And don't mistake yourself. Don't fool yourself. You will never have a husband or a wife who is perfect. Doesn't exist. Do you understand? So you look at the package. Here is not good, there is good, there is good, there is good, there is not good. This I can take. That one I cannot take. That is why we accommodate each other. It's not because one is perfect or what. No. Because we accept whatever they bring with, we say the package is fine for me. Are you ready to lose a certain part of yourself to accommodate the other person? It means that because you are no longer alone, you have to have your own time, you have to have your own things, you don't report your life to anyone. Now you have someone to report to. I've been calling you, your phone, you are not picking up the phone. Where were you? You have to answer to that question. You never say that, who are you to ask me that question? Did you give Lobola to ask me that question? You can't say that. You have to answer. You say, sorry, I was in the classroom and I switched off my phone or whatever, or I forgot the phone at home. You have to answer. So are you ready for that, to lose a certain part of yourself to accommodate? Are you ready to share your space? That is very important. Are you making her happy, or is she making you happy? Happiness is one of the most important things in a couple. You must be happy around your wife or around. I'm giving my example. When my work is keeping me, I become nervous. People ask me, are you going somewhere? I say, no. I say, so why are you agitated? I say, no, I want to go home. Oh, just to go home? I say, yes. You must have a peaceful home. Eh? I work for it. Why not? Do you understand? And when I arrive at home, the first thing, the parking, is the car there? The car is not there. Before even I greet my children, if they are there on the spot, while they are coming, Papi, the first question, where is your mom? She's not yet there. If the kids are not there, I pick my phone. Sherry, where are you? That person must make you happy. You must be happy around that person. If not, you are not yet there. Don't say I do, or don't promise anything. Say we must work on this thing before we promise each other. Thank you, Sam, for the answer. That is what I can add. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Papa Jacques. We are at the end of our questions. So thank you to everyone who asked questions. Thank you for everyone who participated. We hope that what we've learned has benefited us, and we pray that we can see good fruits from this debate and this discussion. May God give us good fruits that we can enjoy in our lives from this knowledge that we have shared. In Jesus' name, amen. So I'm handing it back to Jedia for the closing parts.
Thank you. Can we encourage one another? Yeah. I know it was a long session, but it was worth it. But before I continue, I don't know if Pastor Toussaint has something to say as a closing remark. Okay? Nothing. Right. So it was a long session, but very important, insightful, and useful. And I think I was talking to Daniel yesterday. We're saying such sessions, there are people who pay a lot to have such knowledge. But when we have the grace to have people in the house, fathers who are willing to impart so much knowledge to us at no cost at all, these are opportunities that we need to grab with both hands. And we need to learn as much as we can, because all this knowledge will shape our tomorrow, and it will shape the level of our happiness. So can we just appreciate Papa Jacques for this, accepting to come, take 2 days, in a row to come and give us this long expose. It's not easy. Papa, we appreciate you, and we pray that God may bless you. We may not have enough or whatever to give you as the youth, but at least we know when tomorrow we are happy, that's something that's going to be rewarded to you by God because of this seed. And we pray that God may bless you abundantly. We may rise. We are at the end. God bless us. Shall we pray? Father, we thank you for this time you allowed us to stand here and gather here. Thank you for the knowledge that has been imparted to us. Thank you because we are a youth that has been empowered to live better and happier days and to also be a difference in our generation. We pray that you may go with us back to our respective homes, safe and sound. We pray that you may allow this knowledge we've received to be embedded in our minds and so that we may live according to it. Help us make the best and the right decisions. Help us improve where we've been on the wrong course. Help us fix mistakes and help us, oh God, be proactive in our decisions in Jesus' mighty name. We bless our way back home. May you be with us and keep us safe. May you bring us again tomorrow to the Sunday service safe and sound. May you bless each one of us present here. May you remember our speaker. May you bless him, oh God, beyond imagination and beyond what we can even wish for him. May you remember him for his sacrifice and for the knowledge he's imparted unto us. We bless this youth and let it grow into a stronger and better and brighter youth. We bless as well the coming activities of the youth for this second semester. May it be even more glorious. In Jesus' mighty name we declare it, oh Father God. I'll allow Papa Toussaint to bless us and then we'll be on our way home.
Nous te rendons grâce, Créateur du ciel et de la terre. Nous te disons merci parce que tu es Alpha et tu es Oméga. Toi, tu as dit dans ta parole, vous connaîtrez la vérité et la vérité vous affranchira. Nous prions, Seigneur, que ce que nous venons de recevoir comme vérité puisse affranchir chacun et chacune de nous. Pour la gloire et la louange à ton Saint-Nom. Nous voulons bâtir, Seigneur, une société forte, une jeunesse forte, qui va impacter, Seigneur, le monde, qui va impacter la communauté, qui va impacter, Seigneur et Dieu, nos milliers pour la gloire de ton Saint-Nom. Nous nous recommandons à toi. Saint-Esprit, viens et fais ton travail. Nous avons fait le nôtre, viens accomplir. Viens, Seigneur, façonner. Viens éclairer. Et viens davantage, Seigneur, émonder pour la gloire de ton Saint-Nom. Laisse que notre retour soit béni. Bénis tes serviteurs, bénis tes servantes et bénis, Seigneur, l'orateur que tu as permis. Souviens-toi de lui favorablement, tout pour ta gloire. Dans le nom de Jésus, nous avons ainsi prié. Nous disons Amen.